Hey everyone. I wanted to talk to you about stepping out of your normal. Um, I have been doing this or trying this practice for quite a while, and it has not been comfortable. It's really not been that fun, but the outcome is pretty amazing. And the concept keeps on getting hammered in my environment, what I've chose to surround myself with. And I want to share it with you today about letting go and taking a step and just experiencing something you've never experienced before. And the best thing about doing this type of practice is if you go and try something new, try something that you haven't ever done before. Um, the great thing of it is you already know what your normal is. You already know what your reality has been with your current behaviors or your current habits, your current lifestyle. And so, what stepping out of your normal and trying something new, going into the unknown, what that truly means is taking a situation, taking a behavior, taking a reaction, and trying to make something new of it and try to take a different approach. It doesn't mean that your approach is right or wrong. It doesn't mean that things really need to improve. But what it can mean is you try something different. And when you do that and you learn how to be comfortable in the unknown, trying something different, then it starts to become a little bit easier and life becomes not as challenging. There's a little bit more freedom in entering those zones. But what you're going to find is there can be some resistance to this practice, some resistance to change, some resistance to opening up. And that resistance is real and it hurts, or it can be awful. Your body can just revolt you, and everyone around you could be annoyed with you. But that's okay. And for right now, I would say it's okay because what you're doing is you're exploring. You're trying something different than what you've been doing all this life. For me, I can say that just this morning, someone called me out on my insecurities with money. And it was pretty funny because I was unaware that I was doing it. I did it. And for me, it was just a normal behavior. It was something that I feel passionate about and I feel that is important. And it's a insecurity that I actually have. Now, this person brings up, why do you keep on reminding me about money? And the situation was literally, I had to pay for something and we were supposed to be splitting it, and whatever happened, I just ended up having to pay for it all. And I made a comment of, all right, but you're gonna owe me. And the person took a lot of offense to it. And instead of getting mad or defensive, I took a step back and I thought about it. And what I realized was what this person did for me was bring to my attention that there's a certain behavior, a particular behavior that may or may not serve me. And the more I thought of it, when they called me out on this, I realized, you know what, that's a behavior of the past. That's a behavior that at some point possibly helped me, because I lived in a reality where money was an issue, and money was being given away. Money was being taken from me in some sense. And I didn't like that. That was not my reality, and I didn't want it to be my reality. I wanted to have choice over where my finances went. I wanted to have choice over where my money went. But in those moments, I didn't have that luxury. Now, I go and push that on to someone else. What I realize is my insecurity of what went on with previous relationships, previous issues with money, I push that insecurity onto someone else. Now, when you do that, all you do is cause more harm and suffering to not only yourself, but also to that person. But the cool thing is, the more you realize this stuff, the more you enter into it, and the more you just go into the unknown of, okay, why did I behave that way? And the reason was I had history. Has this person ever given me a reason to think that they're not gonna be honest or truthful with me? No, they've actually been quite good. When I have patients at work that, some reason they owe whatever money, I used to get worked up on it. Now I realize, in general terms, most people are good people, and if they're to owe money, they'll pay it, and I don't have to remind them of it, which is a great realization, because no longer am I suffering, no longer am I worried about, am I going to get paid or not paid? Does this person appreciate me or not appreciate me? And I guess actually that's what it is. It's appreciation. So for me, when people aren't being upfront or truthful with money, I feel like that's a not showing appreciation towards me. And so in some sense, I have broke down relationship to financial appreciation. And that that's, the more I think about it just now, is that's really crummy. Because my concerns of whether or not people are going to be trustworthy or giving or fair. Fairness is a massive thing for me. It's based on money. And in relative terms, at this moment, I don't really have financial problems. I mean, I have bills, I have obligations, but all in all, I'm able to manage them, I'm able to pay them. So the point of this is, if I hadn't entered that thought process, if I hadn't entered just looking at, why is this person concerned about how I reacted, and not get mad at them and not blame them, I was able to take a step in a direction that, in relative terms, I haven't been able to do all my life. So this one brief encounter may actually cause a lifelong change in how I approach people when it comes to financial relationships. It can change how I approach that scenario. It can change how I want my future relationships, especially when it comes to money. Maybe I just need boundaries, right? Maybe something I cannot overcome because the story's too big at this moment, so I need to put up boundaries. But in reality, in the long run, boundaries wouldn't be needed, and I can just trust, right? And I can put my thoughts and my beliefs on people, not based on money, not based on whether or not they're going to pay me or not pay me. All that stuff is really not that important. What is more important is that I'm able to take a step forward out of my normal, which is lack of trust, and enter a whole new world that actually brings joy and happiness to me. So, I wanted to share that with you guys this morning. Let me know what you think.